AFC football.
Back to Arrowhead they go. Take your refunds with you. The Cincinnati Bengals back in the AFC Championship game for a second year in a row. The ultimate playoff road warrior tour, plowing through the Bills and Mother Nature.
Intercepted by Cam Taylor-Britt.
Nice.
And that is officially coffin nail.
Bam, bam, bam.
Snow Angels in the end zone. The Bengals are heading to Kansas City.
Awaiting the Bengals, a dude who's thrown a few strikes in these games. Dios mio, man. I see you rolled your way into the semis. Travis and me, we're gonna fight for your right to party. Chiefs fighting for the AFC title for a fifth straight time.
They'll roll that way. They find Kelsey inside the 5 and lunges into the end zone. Trots in, touchdown, Kansas City.
Winter is coming, and you know what comes with it. Cold temperatures, and more of those are expected for this game. It's a ways out, but snow is in the Arrowhead forecast over the next week. What an advantage that could give the Bengals, being they played in a heavy snowfall last week. Burrow running his record in games under 40 degrees to 8-0 in his career.
Goes over the top, wide open is Chase, and he splits the defenders for the touchdown.
There's also the Burrow-Zach Taylor 3-0 record versus Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. 27-24 win over them in Cincinnati this year. 27-24 in the conference championship game last year.
Throws it into the end zone for Chase. He leaps. He's got it.
Yeah.
Touchdown. Bengals.
Therefore, Arrowhead's volume, Mahomes' aura, officially not keeping Burrow or anyone in orange and black stripes up at night.
Burrow grabbed, gets away from a sack, scrambling left, being chased, gets away again, and gets the first down.
I apologize ahead of time for the 777 ads headed our way, and for the 777 takes you're going to hear about Mahomes' ankle this week. Yep, realistically, he's limited to some degree. High ankle sprains are a month of rest typically. Chiefs Kingdom just hoping Mahomes took plenty of jazz baths this week.
Enjoy this moment with the guy beside you.
Yes, sir.
And you got every single play. Let's dominate.
Mahomes comes in off one of those games, the Jack Youngblood, Emmitt Smith, Daniel LaRusso kind. Mahomes crane kicked his way to victory, went 22 of 30, 195 yards, 2 touchdowns, a 112.5 rating versus Jacksonville.
Mahomes now steps up in the pocket, throws lane wide open, back of the end zone, touchdown, Kansas City. And are they helping Mahomes up here? He is limping off the field.
His play plus his 2022 stats equals first team All-Pro at QB.
One play at a time. Let's go get another one. Let's go get another one. Let's go get another one. It's not enough yet. It's not enough.
Burrow comes in off one of those games too, the Liam Neeson gray, cool runnings kind. Burrow in heavy snowfall on the road versus the Bills, 245 yards, a rating over 100, 2 TDs, no picks. That's as shiesty as it gets.
That's Joe Shiesty right there. That's Joe Shiesty.
KC is up against it in every way. Bengals on a 10-game win streak and getting great play on both sides of the ball. 28.3 points per game on offense during the streak, 18.5 points per game allowed on defense.
The rush gets hit. The ball flutters out. Cincinnati scoops it up. Incomplete pass, not a fumble.
Bengals D with a Chiefs O with a less than 100% Mahomes. First thing we have to look at, Bengals pass rush versus KC's O-line. On the Chiefs side, even hurt, Mahomes wasn't sacked once last week. KC's O-line, only 2 teams allowed fewer sacks all year.
Great job in that last play, dude. Great job. Great job.
Mahomes faced pressure 25% of the time in the regular season. Hurt last week, he felt heat on 33.3% of his dropbacks. Wasn't enough to beat him though, right? The instinct, blitz him more. But Mahomes was one of the best against the house in 2022, and he was one of the least blitzed because of it.
And Mahomes going to throw for it. Under pressure, throws, complete. Travis Kelsey, first down.
And the Jaguars tried it. Regular season, he saw 5+ pass rushers 23% of the time. The Jags blitzed him 33% of the time. He went 7 for 10 against it last week. A touchdown, so much for the ankle.
2nd and 10, Jaguars show pressure and bring it. Mahomes has to stay in. Kelsey again across midfield for the first down.
Right away, last year's conference championship game comes to mind then. The Bengals only blitzed him 9% of pass plays. That's super low. They still sacked him 4 times.
Shotgun snap. A handoff to a fake. Now scrambling forward, tackled at the 9-yard line.
In Cincinnati's win over Kansas City this year, they only blitzed him 20% of the time. That's still low-ish. 2 sacks, 8 QB hits. Their pass rush, sans too much extra help, has played a big role in beating Kansas City those last 2 times.
1 second and 7, he's in trouble! And he's brought down at the 23-yard line by Hubbard, Sam Hubbard.
The 2 guys that Kansas City has struggled the most with, Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson. Modest 2022 sack totals, but Hendrickson hit him 3 times in this year's game. He tallied a sack and a half on their way to the dance last year. Hubbard got a hold of Mahomes in both.
Now here comes the rush. Mahomes way back at the 25, loses the ball. The Chiefs fall on it at the 26.
Sam Hubbard knocked the ball out.
Hendrickson will take on left tackle Orlando Brown, 17th best tackle out of 72 this year, according to PFF. He gave up 4 sacks. That's not a lot, but it's not an elite total either. Hubbard will go against Andrew Wiley, and like the Coyote, he had some issues too. Gave up sacks 9 times. His mom would get a call from Ed for that as well.
You see the protection turn away from you, you know you got one-on-one against Andrew Wiley, you're going, I'll take that.
If he has time, though, then you might see him take the kind of shots that allowed him to finish with a fat 8.1 yards per attempt and a Cartman-like plus 12 yards per completion. In either scenario, the next topic, Travis Kelce, the most dominant tight end in the game, versus Cincinnati's linebackers and safeties. Kelce comes in off a near-record performance, 14 catches, scored twice.
Now they throw it near side, Kelsey's got it! Touchdown! Kansas City sprinting inside the near front pylon!
Bengals fans, Jacksonville's defense, one of the worst against tight ends all year. Safeties Jesse Bates, Von Bell, linebackers Logan Wilson, Jermaine Pratt, helping hold tight ends to a sub-80 rating in Cincinnati, 3-5 TD to INT ratio. When they beat Kansas City in Week 13, they held Kelce to 4 catches, 56 yards.
It's Kelce. Pratt's trying to hold on to him, needs some help. Ball came out. Ball came out and Pratt has it.
Another possible scenario. They don't pass as often. It's an Isaiah Pacheco game.
Pacheco bouncing to the outside. Pacheco in a foot race to the sideline. Pacheco out of bounds.
Pacheco is a nice 4.9 yard per carry guy this season, enters this contest off a 95-yard performance. Back-to-back weeks, 7.9 yards per run or better.
Off tackle right, Pacheco explodes, 20, on the angle, 15, near the sideline and shoved out of bounds inside the 5.
Cincinnati, they held backs to 3.9 yards per run this season, held both Buffalo backs in check with ease last week.
First and goal, quickly on Singletary, who fights just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Defensive tackles B.J. Hill, D.J. Reader, Wilson, and Pratt, a tough group to run at. Wilson and Pratt also pretty tough on running backs as pass catchers. That duo kind of underrated, it seems. Bengals pass defense versus running backs, 5th lowest rating allowed.
Oh, that's knocked away.
Oh, nearly. Pratt.
They take on Jerick McKinnon this week. He didn't do anything as a receiver last week. Prior to that game, 6 games in a row with a receiving touchdown, 8 total in that span. If Mahomes is limited or hurried, he could get turned to often.
Scrambles out of there and shovels it forward to McKinnon. That's his 9th receiving touchdown.
KC wideout core, Juju Smith-Schuster, MVS, Justin Watson, Kadarius Toney. They're the Slaters. They might be in the back seat, but they fill in the gaps. They're cool, man.
Patrick Mahomes cross the middle, able to complete. Juju Smith-Schuster.
Cincinnati's play against wideouts held them to a sub-90 rating. Not many weak spots with this defense. Last week versus Stephon Diggs, 10 targets only allowed him to catch 4 balls for 35 yards.
Now they're trying to strike gold, and it's incomplete.
Eli Apple excited thinking about all the ketchup, mustard, and mayo he was going to slather on his celebration sandwich after the game. He likes his condiments. Hard to use the excuse. The Bengals secondary was aided by the snow. First, they held quarterbacks to the lowest rating in the NFL this year. Yeah, number 1. Second, Burrow and his receivers didn't have any issues with the white stuff.
Burrow back to pass, throws toward the near sideline. A one-handed left-handed catch by T. Higgins as he pulls it in.
Kansas City has to defend all 3 types of pass catcher as well. Burrow bounces into this game off a classic spread the love type showing. Used his standard wideout trio, his running backs, a little more of his tight end than usual.
And Burrow
Hurst leaps for the first down. Whew. What a play.
Chiefs' pass defense wasn't a strong point for them in 2022. It was versus Jacksonville. Held Trevor Lawrence to 217 yards, a 74.4 rating, picked him off, only allowed one touchdown, and best of all, just 5.6 yards per attempt.
Lawrence puts it up, and it's intercepted. What a play by Jalen Watson.
They dealt with Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Marvin Jones. Not bad, but not on the same level as Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. All three have given Kansas City's secondary trouble in their last two games. AFC Conference Championship game, Chase scored. Higgins over 100 yards. Regular season game this year, Higgins scored. Boyd had 60 yards. Jamar 97 yards.
To Chase. How about that pass? The precision on that one. Chase is back on the case.
Cincinnati tight end Hayden Hurst, can't sleep on him. He has games where you can, and then bam, you're in the middle of a snowstorm with no chains, and he wanders out of the Buffalo Forest for 5 catches, 59 yards, and a score.
To the end zone. Open! Wide open! Hurst hauls it in for another Cincinnati touchdown.
That was against the best tight end defense in the NFL, too. Kansas City, they allowed a 101.9 rate to the position this season, so they'd like a showing more in line with how they played Evan Ingram last week, held him to 5 catches, 31 yards.
2nd and 8, bodies crisscrossing, comes back to Ingram. Willie Gay couldn't make the play, but Frank Clark did.
Real defensive pressure lands on KC's front. They have to get to Burrow without any help. Good news for Kansas City, they were second in sacks without blitzing a ton this season.
Pressure on, and Lawrence is down. Derek Nottie.
They're a team that has first-team All-Pro Chris Jones, a 15.5 sack monster in the middle, facing an O-line rolling with 3 backups.
And he's going to be hit. Chris Jones got him in a bear hug. Now he gets rid of the ball, and Chris Jones just took the game in his own hands.
Houday sitting there going, first, Chandler Jones has as many career playoff sacks as you do, game preview guy. Sorry, Chris Jones, Nick Bosa, Joey, tomatoes. Second, that hodgepodge line of ours only allowed 1 sack for 2 yards last week, only allowed Burrow to get hit 3 times, and that was on 37 dropbacks.
First half's head. There's Burrow to Higgins. Nobody near him. And he knows where to go to get the first down. They have another one.
And not only that, look what the duct tape line did for their run game. Joe Mixon, a 3.9 yard per carry guy, comes in off a 20 carry, 105 yard, 5.3 per run game, plus a touchdown.
2nd and 6. Oh, what a big opening for Mixon. And he gets all the way to the 50.
Kansas City run defense, they weren't great or terrible on the year versus running backs. 4.3 a run allowed. Don't come in off a great performance, though. Struggled versus Travis Etienne. 6.2 yards per carry on 10 tries. As Mallory would say, you want ants? That's how you get ants.
Goal. Etienne bouncing the outside, cuts it up, and in for the touchdown.
Watch out for the kickoff game again. Warned everyone Jacksonville's Jamal Agnew might be a problem for a Kansas City club that hasn't played kickoffs well. Chiefs let Agnew average 43.7 yards per return on 3 attempts. It felt like he was about to break one every time he started up the field.
Picks it up with momentum, and look at him get through. Pass Butker, but he got him at the 45.
Bengals' Travion Williams could be a problem too then, averaging over 20 yards per kickoff return in his last 5 games.
Returnable for Williams. Works the sideline and shoved out as he crossed the 35-yard line.
As for field goals, Kansas City's Harrison Butker, 2 for 2 on his attempts last week, a 50-yarder, 3 for 3 on extra points. Cincinnati's Evan McPherson, 2 for 2 on his field goal tries, made all 3 of his extra points in the snow, so cooler.
Pearson's kick is good.
If Mahomes had to come out of the game, don't count Kansas City out. Chad Henne off the bench, 98-yard drive and a touchdown. Onions.
Henne completes it. Kadarius Toney. First down around the 31-yard line.
Andy Reid Conference Championship record. He was 1-4 with Philadelphia. He's 2-2 with Kansas City. Like we said, though, he hasn't beaten the Cincinnati Kid in 3 tries, and Taylor has won 3 straight road playoff games. That's ridiculous. That's a lot, but there is more. The preview is only half done. You guys have to complete the written portion of it, so it's actually good. You do that in the comments section along with your prediction. I do have to say, I love to think about the comments section as a big football party. fan walks in. Hey, you guys hear him say the wrong Bosa? Ah, yeah, that was funny. Second guy walks in. Oh, yeah. Third, fourth, 77th. You know someone else has brought it up already, right? I feel like the dude flipping the sign around over and over in that commercial. But what about for existing Bosas? Is he okay? I love it.